In the vast, frozen expanse of northern Canada, nestled by the shores of Anjikuni Lake, an entire village of over 100 men, women, and children vanished without a trace in the winter of 1930. They left behind smoldering fires, pots of food, and their loyal sled dogs starved to death at their posts. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints leading away, just an unnerving, deafening silence. What could make an entire community disappear into thin air, leaving behind all they owned in the middle of a brutal Arctic winter? This is the chilling, unsolved mystery of the Village of the Dead.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video which will amaze you.
The story begins on a bitterly cold day in November 1930. Joe Labelle, a seasoned fur trapper familiar with the unforgiving Canadian wilderness, was making his way to a small Eskimo village he knew well. Situated on the shores of the remote Anjikuni Lake, this community was a familiar stop for Labelle, a place where he could expect a warm welcome and trade his furs. As he approached, however, an eerie silence replaced the usual sounds of village life. The barking of dogs, the laughter of children, the chatter of the community. The air was still, heavy with an unspoken dread. Upon entering the village, Labelle's unease turned to sheer horror. The village was completely deserted. Tents stood empty, their flaps flapping in the biting wind. He saw pots of stew left hanging over fires that had long since burned out, now frozen solid. In one tent, he found a child's unfinished sealskin parka, with a needle still threaded through it, as if the sewer had been interrupted mid-stitch. Everything was in its place, yet the people were gone. The most disturbing discovery was yet to come. Labelle found the villagers' sled dogs, their most prized possessions and essential for survival, tied to their posts, having starved to death. Some of the dogs were even found buried under a snowdrift, a clear sign that weeks had passed since their demise. The villagers would never have abandoned their dogs, their lifeline, in this harsh environment. It was unthinkable. Labelle knew something was terribly wrong. Frantic, Labelle raced to the nearest telegraph office, miles away, to alert the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. When the Mounties arrived, they were just as baffled. A thorough search of the area revealed no signs of a struggle, no tracks leading away from the village. It was as if the entire population had been lifted straight up into the sky. The investigation deepened the mystery. The village's ancestral graves had been opened and emptied. This was a profound sacrilege to the Eskimo people, who held their ancestors in the highest reverence. Who would do such a thing? And why? As the news spread, so did the theories. Some speculated that the villagers had been abducted by aliens, a theory fueled by reports from other trappers in the area who claimed to have seen strange lights in the sky around the time of the disappearance. Others whispered of ancient, evil spirits, like the Wendigo, a malevolent creature from native folklore said to roam the northern forests. A more scientific, yet equally unsettling theory suggested a case of mass hysteria that led the villagers to flee into the wilderness, where they would have quickly succumbed to the brutal elements. The RCMP investigation officially concluded that the tribe had simply migrated to a new location. But this explanation satisfied no one. Why would they leave behind their food, weapons, and precious dogs? Why would they desecrate their own graves? The silent, snow-covered shores of the lake hold their secrets, a ghostly testament to a village that was there one day and gone the next.